Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast, a place to discuss pain, passion, and pursuits.
Get it. I want to feel alive.
Breathe.
Make some moves.
Protect the throne. This is Sexy Freedom Media Podcast.
Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards-Ann.
January Liddell, aloha.
We have not done an episode in a while. We have been so busy, and that's why our title is Busy Bees Making Moves. So we're just going to keep it personal and just catch up and share our world with you. January, what have you been up to?
Gosh, when we first got on here, the first thing I thought of was the last time I saw you was Hawaii. I have not seen you since Hawaii. We've been messaging back and forth. We've been talking on the phone, but I actually have not seen my beautiful sister in a long time. So yes, and I love the title Busy Bees. Great for me since I love bees. Today, we're going to talk about how busy we are. Let me tell you, it was a lot. It was insane. Even before you got here, Helen, there were layers upon layers that I was doing, from my new position at Ideas by Mike to the second book that I was working on to, of course, friends coming over. I have kids. I have a husband. They have their own things that's going on. So my energy was spread throughout all these different things. And to be honest with you, I was really overwhelmed. And I just prayed the other day. I'm like, God, can you please help me? Because it is just too much. But let me tell you, the other thing I added was Harvard Business School. So I added Harvard Business School called Leading with Finance because I wanted the certificate and I wanted to learn more. And hello, it's Harvard, right? So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. So I added that to my plate. I was also traveling. So I traveled to Minneapolis a few weeks ago for training, and we bought a car. There were just so many things that happened. And in any case, I'm good now. The second book is done. It's actually published, kind of ish. So it's published on Amazon. And then the second thing, Harvard Business School, I messaged them. I said, I need to prolong this. So I moved it to November. So I'm going to block November out so I can focus on school. So that relieved some stress over me. So your podcast, Helen, your yesterday's podcast was on point. I am a fuck yeah, you're right. Meow.
I think she's referring to Your Morning Sauce, which is our sister podcast, the morning show, which every episode is under 6 minutes. You're the second person who gave me that feedback. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And I think oftentimes we're always talking about resting and self-love and self-care, especially when we find ourselves just overwhelmed. But I think the one thing that we don't talk about is the thrill of having things on our plate that make us excited about life, because it almost feels like we know what we're doing is going to help us win. And what I mean by win is like we're not doing this for nothing. We're not packing our plates for nothing. Like we are in control. We know what we're doing. We're aware that what we're choosing to put on our plate is something that's going to provide some sort of benefits or a reward in our right? Our wheelhouse, which is our financial goals, our relationship goals, our house goals, our physical goals. And it's when those tasks are way too overwhelming, where they're actually tipping you towards like a more stressful, getting you sick, feeling toxic. That's when you're like, okay, yes, self-love, yes, self-care, yes, take it off your plate. But when it's everything's kind of like how you said, you were aware of what you needed to do and you just went to action on it and you're like, okay, Harvard, I love you. We're going to happen, but it's going to have to happen later. Like, I'm glad you saw that and did that for yourself.
I love that you said the thrill of it. You are so on point with that because you're right. all of these different things that we have chosen to do give us joy. They give us joy, they give us happiness, and they are a stepping stone to the goals that we want to achieve. And that is the reason why I work hard the way I work hard. It's the reason why I'm so focused on certain things, because I got goals, I got things I want to accomplish. So I do love that you said thrill of things. One of the things that I do want to add on to that is that yes, there's the thrill of things, but the self-care portion, that is probably the one thing that I really need to work on, because I can sit here all day and be in meetings, and like yesterday I didn't have lunch till 2:30 because I was constantly in meetings and I didn't stop. And then I realized, oh yeah, I didn't have lunch. And so that is a part of self-care, because we do need to have lunch. We do need to take that break and step away from the computer, step away from what you're doing, go out for a walk, get some fresh air, all the above. Because there's one thing I did learn is that doing things in a little bit, so like 25-minute increments, and then taking a break, you're actually more functional if you do it that way. So in some cases I can do that, but right, but when I am stuck in meetings, that's an hour meeting, I can't get away, and it's like back to back meetings, but I do need to incorporate that 25 minutes. How are you doing your self-care, Helen?
You know what? Perfect example of that is right before this podcast. I mean, I was on my other laptop and I was just putting in things on my spreadsheet. And then I was like, oh, shoot, the time, run over here. And then you messaged me, can you send me the link? I was like, oh, shoot, so then I sent you the link and you're like, oh, wait, I need a minute. And I literally was like, okay, she needs a minute. So I started doing other tasks I needed to do. And then I was like, okay, pause for a second, put everything aside until January gets on. Why don't you take a second and just breathe? And that's what I did. So I just sat here and I was like, just breathe in and just breathe out. And then I was like, okay, instead of picking up your phone, what, because you're like taking a little bit longer. So I was like, okay, you're done breathing. Now that you've kind of calmed your nervous system, there's a book right next to me. I pick up the book and I'm like, okay, just read something. And it was like the perfect amount of reading because it was talking about climbing a mountain and how when you're busy climbing the mountain, you don't really get the chance to see how far you've come. And when you're climbing, when you're working yourself, when you're doing a lot, you're producing a lot of cortisol, the stress hormone. So when you pause and you just reflect, that reflection gives you peace, and that also like brings you down and brings that stress hormone down. And I was like, wow, what a reflection to have read that right after I stopped and breathed and just realized like, okay, whoa, like take a pause to reflect. This is amazing. You get this opportunity to do this podcast. This is such a blessing. And I was just like, huh, interesting. I am literally doing what the book just said, pause and reflect along the journey and take a look at this amazing view. So it was a really beautiful moment.
Ooh, I'm so glad I took my time, because I actually needed to shake things off. And that's for something else. I will share that with you later. But I need to shake things off. And so I did need to pause and just revamp myself. But reflecting and pausing, and you're right, that mountain, you go up the mountain, and I feel that's kind of where I'm at this moment, is that I'm continuing to climb. I'm continuing to do all these different things, but I'm not taking the time to see how far I've come, because I'm so focused on the end goal. And that end goal, I'm not there yet. And so I think because I'm not there yet, I'm a little harder on myself because I'm not there yet. And so I continue to just put more work. It's such a cycle. It's a cyclic thing where it's like, I want to reach my goal. I want to do this, 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 this. However, I do need to pause and take a breath. I just saw this video about when you're feeling anxious and you're feeling like a panic attack. They did a study, and I put it on my stories. They did a an experiment where they have ice water, and the diver put his face in the water, and they were monitoring his heart, and his heart was slowing down. So if ever you're feeling anxious or have a panic attack, which I've had in the past, putting an ice pack on you will help lower your heart rate.
Okay, I'm laughing because every single time we get together and we haven't seen each other for a while or talked in a while, we somehow are hashtag aligned. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because this morning I woke up and I almost went to my freezer to get a bag of ice to start doing that, start doing the ice in a bowl and put my face in. And I thought to myself, you know what? I am so busy this morning. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And that's what I said to myself, which is funny because I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start doing that. My big thing right now, January, is I'm trying to create new habits. I'm trying to develop new habits and get my old habits, either abolished or shifted or upgraded. I guess upgraded is a good one because I do have a lot of good habits, but it's time to upgrade those. I'm actually currently reading one of my favorite authors, Jen Sincero, her book Badass Habits. Can I just say shout out to Jen Sincero? I would love to have her on our show one day because this is my fourth book of hers that I've read. I'm a big fan of hers. I never have read so many books by one author, like ever. And her books are just, they speak to me. So, Badass Habits, it's just really getting into my head every day to focus on my habits and really be intentional about them, and I've been doing great. I have been loving it. It's just been so fun. And so the ice in the water bowl has been something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I've done a lot of research behind it. So, yes, it does calm you. And I just thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do it this week. It's going to be done this week. And it's Friday, which I didn't do it today, but I'm like, ooh, I think Saturday counts as the week. And I think for me, I'm really looking at more of the health benefits for your skin. And yeah, apparently there's some really good research behind it with the skin and the cell regeneration. So, I'm really trying to put my health first. My health is like number one because health is wealth. And so right now that's my big thing for creating new habits, like trying to push myself with my workout and upgrade those habits and push myself with my spiritual health and upgrade those habits. And it's different for all of us, but I'm loving this book and I can't recommend it enough. Ooh, okay, but side note, I just got done reading another book by Jeremy Renner. If you don't know who Jeremy Renner is, Hawkeye, maybe that'll give a clue. He's also the mayor of, or he's in the movie, the lead for The Mayor. And I've always just been a big fan of Jeremy Renner's, but I don't know if you know his story about him getting ran over by a huge, like, cat. I think it's called a cat. I might be wrong on that. Anyways, this big
You're right.
rolling. Yeah, okay. He wrote a book called My Next Breath, and it's about that. It's a memoir about that situation. Oh my God. He narrated it himself, so of course I listened on Audible. It was so good. It was very inspiring. It's just everything he talked about. He was so real and raw about it. And there was actually he played audio of the ambulance called and him in the background struggling. Like it's pretty profound and very deep. But the whole thing is he is choosing to live his life with no bad days for the rest of his life now. And I like at the end where he says he because of that choice, how he had to learn how to live life with with no bad days is all he had to do was die. And that right there was just like, whoa. That was a whoa moment. And I think that one, it made me realize how fragile life is. Although, I mean, I know this from grief, but sometimes we just need to be reminded. And the second thing, it made me realize how much I love memoirs. I mean, I write memoirs, but it really, really made me finally have that true connection of why I love memoirs and biography and nonfiction because I love hearing stories of other people's life, of their experience. Like, it's not just about me. Like, there are other people simultaneously living their life in my lifetime, and they are living a completely different life than I am. And I think it's so fascinating. And it's another reason why we do these podcasts to share our world, to share like what is going on in your life simultaneous. I mean, January, your second book. I am I am so happy for you. I am so proud of you. And just hearing your work, I see you. I see you. We may not talk, but I see you and I stalk you and I'm like, she's doing the damn thing. Like, what? I knew you would. It's just fun to watch your journey. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you. First of all, habits, I see you as well. I see you baking. I see you shuffling. And it's so funny that you posted that because in my mind, weeks ago, I told myself I need to start shuffling again because there's so much joy in shuffling. And I didn't even know about shuffling until you introduced it to me. Of course, I knew the Running Man, but I didn't know that that was a part of shuffling. And I love that all of us got together and said, "Hey, let's just practice together." We would send each other videos. And just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to get back to it." So I love that you are incorporating new habits to be a better version of you. We're constantly evolving, and I love that you and I are on this health tip journey because I am also being mindful of what I put in my body. And the funny thing is that certain foods that I used to like I used to love Cheeto Puffs. That was probably my favorite was Cheeto Puffs. And I opened a bag yesterday and I put it in my mouth and I was like, it tastes like cardboard. Like I just didn't like it as so I chose an orange, like a tangerine and lychee. So lychee, it's lychee season here in Hawaii. And so I ate my lychee. So it was fruits and that was what made me happy, not chips. And chips used to make me happy. I used to just chomp down on those things, but my taste buds have changed, I guess. So just another habit has changed.
You know what? And I just
What?
want to say this. So anybody listening who does see my posts of me baking, yeah, sure, I'm in the picture and I'm smiling because of course, strike a pose, right? I I've always hated cooking and baking. And I'm not saying hate, like hate is a very strong word, but I literally I hate it. So you don't see in the background of me like yelling at my cookie dough or protein balls. Like I am literally freaked out, stressed out. I'm sweating, but I remain clean. And I say that because I don't want people to think like sweat is dripping in the food. But I just get I hate following directions. I am such a rebel. So to follow recipes for me, I have not followed one single recipe to the T, but I've followed them. I've just made my little tweaks here and there, not because I don't want to follow the recipes. It's just something happens where I accidentally like put something more than I should have, and then I'm learning. I am learning because I'm not a baker. I and the craziest part is I can cook and I can bake extremely well. My mother raised me learning how to cook and clean or cook and bake. I just have, chosen that cleaning the kitchen brings me joy and makes me feel great and peaceful. But cooking and baking just stresses me out. So I really do envy those that just love it. And I'm doing this because I want to push myself out of my comfort zone. I want to train myself to eat healthier foods and not have an excuse why I'm not doing it. So I'm breaking that habit of hating baking and cooking. I'm breaking it. Even though I hate it right now, I'm learning to find little joys. But let me tell you what does bring me joy about it. I've been bringing them to friends to have everybody taste it, and everybody's like, "I love this. I love," and I'm like, "Oh, that makes me so happy to know that I've cooked something or baked something that brings other people joy." So that's actually starting to rewire my mind. And maybe it's not hate so much anymore. Maybe it's just, okay, I'm a little frustrated, but people might like this. So it's working. That habit is working, the habit of making new things.
I love it. And I love that you are stepping outside your comfort zone to just stretch yourself and to see. what else can you do? Even though you hate it, I, I don't know if you hate it. I think it's more of like it frustrates you and it overwhelms you.
I think the habit is to say hate because I've said it for so long. Like I hate it. But I think when I habitually say that because that's what I feel. Like I actually feel that when I actually say it and it feels so good. Like it's like, yes, you do hate it, you know? But you're right. I think that maybe I did hate it and it's starting to turn into frustration, which it's like, you know what it is? It's like a ball that's wrapped up in like what is it called?
Unwrap.
Like yeah,
Yarn.
like a knitting ball.
Oh,
Like a
knitting yarn.
knitting ball that's starting to get unraveled
Mm.
and it's starting to come loose and to where it's free so I can recreate something else. That's what I feel like the vision is for me. And words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. And I think that's why when I say I hate baking, I feel more connected to old me, old Helen that actually hated it. And then, so you're right. You didn't say it, but I'm hearing it. Telekinesis. Like, I need to change that language because that's actually simultaneously your actions and your thoughts should be like aligned. And I need to change that.
Yes, because that was the same feeling I felt about math. I said I hated math, and I remember feeling that icky feeling towards math, and I didn't want to be a part of it. Then I realized I'm actually saying it to myself. I'm manifesting that in my psyche, which is manifesting out that I'm not going to deal with math. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to touch it. I don't, math. And then I had to change and shift because now I'm in the finance industry and numbers are all over the place. I'm still working on it. I do love math now though. Let me share that part. I do love math, but that's because I'm constantly in it. So it's desensitized me. And I think that's what's going on with you is that you have been baking and creating these amazing protein balls that I wish you could send to me. I want to try it. And you're changing your dynamic of how you feel about baking and cooking. Because for as long as I've known you, Helen, I do not know that you've cooked a thing. Actually, I don't even think you baked a thing since I've known you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's baking what? This is new. So, yes, I loved seeing that. I was like, oh, okay, look at you. I see you.
Oh my God, that's so funny. You're not the only person who said that to me. Like, have you cooked a thing? I actually do cook for Rob, my husband. I cook breakfast and I've been starting to cook more dinners again because I want to relieve him. He comes home from work, and I want to be able to like cook something. But here's the thing. Rob is an amazing cook. He loves cooking. He's like the opposite of me. He loves cooking. Okay. So when we first met, he didn't want me to cook because he does make the better dishes. But now he gets home and he's pretty tired and he actually is like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Like he's always shocked. Thank you. Like if I make food every day in a row, he's just like, "Who are you?" So when he saw me starting to bake, he was just like, "Oh my God, like what is happening?" But it makes me happy because he's happy about it. So, things, everything changes in life. What's that saying? The only, the only thing that's, oh gosh, the one about change.
Nothing is guaranteed in life. The only thing that's guaranteed is change.
The only thing that's constant is change. And so, why am I surprised that I'm now changing into this different person? And it's like a flower blooming, a different type of flower blooming, right? And it's exciting. It's going back to the very beginning. It's the thrill of it. It's the thrill of this new thing.
I love that we're blossoming together and we're growing together. It just makes me happy to see that we are constantly evolving. We're not the same Helen in January from 4 years ago. We have changed. I think differently, you think differently, and and even all the biological changes that we're going through. I think that's also a part of blossoming and just being a different version of ourselves. And I love it. I love that you're reading books. Like that is so inspiring to me that you read books. I am not reading any books at this moment. I there should be. I have like a library full of books. But as far as time-wise, I just don't have it.
But you know, since you've known me, I've always been somebody who is very, I don't want to say the word strict, just I'm disciplined. I'm disciplined when it comes to self-improvement and self-development. Like that is my real medicine in life, besides my spirituality and that type of medicine. But I guess I kind of say that self-improvement's a big part of my life because it's changed my life throughout the years. And I won't compromise that for anything. Like if I'm not listening to podcasts on self-improvement, I'm reading books. It's one or the other. I have to have it in my life. It's like feeds me. And I really think that that has been the medicine or the number one thing that has got me from a very struggling broken life to the peaceful, happy, healthy, wealthy life that I have now. It is all due to the consistency of self improvement in my life. So I won't say I'm perfect because I'm not perfect at it, but I have tried to create, actually, like a long time ago, I started getting into the routine of every single morning, either listening to a podcast on self improvement or reading a book. And I'm going to tell you, I love podcasts, but there is nothing like having a real book in front of you and reading it. I remember when I got your book actually, Alina. I remember when I got it in the mail. I ripped that sucker open and I even told myself like maybe I should read this in the morning, but I was like I couldn't wait. I read the whole book in like 10 minutes. I was just like this is amazing. Like I was so happy about it. But any book that comes across my lap. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I can't promise that. It has to be a book that really excites me because I've gotten books that I'm like, the first, like, I'll give a book like two chapters. And by the first two chapters, if I'm just like, I'm not connecting with it, I let it go. I'm like, okay, that's enough. It's all right. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, I love books. I love the feel of books, and that's probably my luxury is our books because I do love to just sit and read. But I'm finding that with all the things that I have on my plate, like clients and even the process of what I'm doing in my company, there's a lot of different standard of operations for my company and constant communication and I have a presentation. So I have an in-person presentation June 3rd and June 5th here in Waikele Country Club. I'm trying to memorize that presentation and make sure it's good. So that's another thing on my plate. So I think what I do in terms of my habits is that from the moment I wake up, the first thing I think about is God. And I make sure that God is right there in the middle, in the center of everything that I do when I start my day and when I end my day. So that he's my bookend. God is my bookend from the morning I wake up till the evening when I go to sleep. And that is probably the one like discipline that I have is just to make sure at least that portion is good. And then everything in between. I do have a coach. So I have a coach that I meet with once a week and we talk about business, we talk about life, so I feel like with self-improvement, it's a constant. There's so many ingredients for self-improvement. And the one thing that I am missing are the books. And I love books. And so, yes, there's podcasts, but oh my gosh, there's like thousands of podcasts that are so amazing. It's like, what do you choose? What, let me ask you, what podcast are you listening to right now?
Okay, Joe Rogan. I'm currently listening to Joe Rogan, and I had kind of stopped listening to him for a while because not because I don't like him, I love him forever, but it's because I started listening to other ones that I like Mel Robbins, Kathy Heller, Marie Forleo. I listen to a bunch of theirs, but I went on a drive with my husband for work one day and he likes listening to Joe Rogan too. And I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how great these podcasts are. So I started listening to those ones again. But that's the one I'm listening to right now. But one of the things I was going to say is with this book, it's really helped me to pause and just look at my habits right now and see how I can upgrade them. I think upgrade was such a great word because just for the example of like pausing your day and reading a book, right? If before you read just one page, maybe put in 2 pages. If you listen to a podcast and you listen to them once a week, start listening to 2 of them a week. Or if you want to upgrade, start listening to podcasts. Say to yourself, what do I want to achieve in life? I want to have more money, right? Okay, start listening to podcasts that talk about money. You already listen to podcasts, just upgrade and start listening to ones about money. You want better relationships? Okay, upgrade and start listening to one about the specific relationships you want to have. You want a better relationship with God? Okay, start reading maybe 2 portions of the Bible instead of just one or just prayer. Like, just like fit in just a tiny bit. All you're doing is just fitting in a tiny bit more and you start watching how your mind will start your habits will lead you to creating more space for the things that are making you feel better and good in life.
Fantastic tip. I love that you said little because when I sometimes when I look at things, I look at bigger things and it gets a little overwhelming when I think of the big things and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But because you said little, to start little, I love that.
Well, yeah, I was just having this conversation with our friend Danita yesterday, and we were talking about money. We were talking about how when we both started off, we both have come from like a place of poverty, and we used to have the belief of lack, and that's kind of where we saw life from with money, and how we've both been on this journey to create wealth in our life. And we were sharing how we would just get overwhelmed with all the stuff about money. And you were talking about math. Remember? Same thing. I remember I was like, I hate math. Math has never been my friend. I don't think that way anymore as well, like with you. And I think that's where it starts. Like you have to say to yourself, okay, cut all the noise out. Cut all the noise out for a second. And this is why meditation and prayer is such a big deal. Because when you do that, you do cut the noise out. Maybe not the chatter in your head, but that's the opportunity you get to just be a silent witness to yourself and listen to yourself and the way you're talking and what's really like, what is your mind really full of? Like, what is taking up space in here? And then when you actually acknowledge it and become aware of it, you're like, okay, these are habits of the mind. This is where I need to start changing what I'm feeding myself, changing what I'm putting into my body, what I'm feeding my mind. And it starts with the little things like you don't have to who made the rule that shit has to be overwhelming? Like who made that? And where did we get that belief from? Like no, it doesn't have to be that way. But you have to change that. You have to decision. You're in control to make the decision to say, um, teacher, I don't want this overwhelming in my life right now. I think I'm gonna opt for the little guy. You know what I mean?
We put the pressure on ourselves. We do it. We do it. We put all of those things on our plates. And I realize that. I recognize that, which is why I said, let it go, let it go. And it made me feel so much better to let things go. Things that don't serve me at this moment. So it may not be things that don't serve me now, or at all, but it's just at this moment. And I love James Clear. I think it's James Clear, Atomic Habits, about how that 1% change. And really from now until July. And I say July because because I'm going to a family reunion in Mississippi, so I'll be there doing a book signing as well at Barnes and Noble. Just a little plug in on July 19 from goodness, I can't remember the time. However, I'll be there. So from now until July 19, I have a goal to walk more I'm trying not to like overwhelm myself, right? And that's the whole like little by little. So walk more and choose healthy food. That's it. Just two things.
Yeah, and you know what can help you with those two things is your mantras. What do you say to yourself? And that's one of the things I had forgotten about because, again, day-to-day life, busy bee, not thinking, just going. And one of the things that Jen Sincero reminds you of in this book about us habits is create those mantras. So I've got like, I've got my little sticky notes that I made three because, again, baby steps. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I used to do this back in the day. And then I got busy and I stopped doing it. And then I was like, I don't need those, I'm a master manifester, which I am. But I got hot about it. I got a chip on my shoulder. I got my ego fluctuated. I had to bring myself down a little bit. Like, hey, let's return to some smaller things that we used to do that was fun and it created success. So I went back to my sticky notes, and this one says, we are healthy, fit as fuck, sexy, and energized. And I've got the same exact three in my office, and I got the same exact three in my bathroom. And the funny part is, my husband's never seen me do these. So when he saw them in the bathroom mirror, he was like, what the fuck are these? It was so cute. It doesn't sound cute, but it was cute to me because he was literally like, what am I staring at right now? And I was like, read them. And so he reads them. He reads them with question marks, like, instead of mantras. And I was like, these are our mantras. We're going to say them. And that's why I put we instead of I. I only have one that's an I mantra, but still, because we are husband and wife and we're union and we're together, so we're doing these together. And so for walking, what's a mantra you can say, January?
I am a powerful walker that makes me feel healthy and sexy.
Yes, yes. And to get a little bit more into the habit of daily or even weekly, you can even input that in there. Like I walk daily 1 mile, or I walk a mile every day, and that makes me feel powerful. And you know what I mean? So you want to change the language to where it's fitting into your life every single day, because that's how you create the habit. And next thing you know, you're waking up and going, no, wait, I do not do this. Like I am programmed. You programmed yourself to do this. Like your brain is like, what are you doing? You're supposed to walk right now.
Okay, so I will say this, Helen, you are amazing at affirmations and mantras. Can you please send that to me? So send that to me in my Facebook Messenger because you just say it so well. Your words are so eloquent and I love it.
Oh.
And I will say this, Nina and I do affirmations every day. But I love, love, love that it's intentional with the mantras and with my journey in terms of changing healthy habits. And I just love it. I love the post-it notes. It's so good because you're right. What we feed ourselves, what we tell ourselves is what's going to come out. That is what's going to manifest outside of our bodies.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You had this like beautiful song, and I'm like over here like squando. I can't I can't do high pitch right now. I probably should change that mantra too because I'm getting my thyroid checked today. So I'm really trying, like I said, healthy right now is one of my big mantras, and I will not be defeated. I refuse to fall victim to things that happen in life, and I'm going to be my own advocate, and I'm going to do whatever I can to meet myself at the best version of myself. And I know I can do it because you know what? Future me is already thanking me. Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, future me. You have no idea what I'm going through, but you will soon. But listen, so we're going to leave it at that. And these busy bees are going to get back to being awesome, riding this amazing thrill in our life. And I think this episode and just talking to you, January, with what we're going through has actually helped me feel more excited and happy and joyous about this journey because it doesn't have to be overwhelming. And if it is, you're right. we have the responsibility's power. We have the ability to let it go. So thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome. This has helped me. Full transparency. I was having a shitty day, actually. Full transparency. It was really tough. Even Nina was having a tough day. So but I did tell her this before I sent her off to school. I told her, there will be tough days. There will be days that are not 100% and days that you feel like shit. But in the midst of all that chaos, in the midst of all that storm, there is joy. You just have to find it. You have to change your mindset. You have to change what you say to yourself and see that even though it may look ugly, there's still beauty around us.
Yes, and on that note, I can't wait to see your shuffle video later. Okay, just a little side thing. All right, everybody. I hope you all get to shuffle too. And read your books and tell people that you love them and change your habits for you and live your best life. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that this episode has provided value for you. If it has, please share it. Go out and get our books. My book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom, is available on Amazon and Audible. Follow my journey. I'm coming out with a sequel. And thank you so much. You can find me on Hell of a Journey with one L, or Facebook, Helen Edwards, or TikTok, Hell of a Journey 1. And you can find all of our links by clicking on the link in the show notes. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find January's link there as well. All right, January, where can they find you?
You can find me January Liddell, Liddell. That's two D's, 2L.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Anchored Financial LLC, both on Facebook and Instagram, and Alina, the Honeymaker, on Facebook and Instagram. And that's my book, the first of the series, Alina, the Super Saver, found on Amazon and anywhere else online. And then the second book is coming out, Dynamo Spending Spree. We actually just published it yesterday, but we have to correct it. So there's a little thing we need to correct, but it is out. It is out there, Dynamo Spending Spree. Find it on Amazon. Mahalo. Have a great day, everyone. We love you.
Want to hear more?
Visit us at sexyfreedommedia.com.